Hi, this is Robin. You might recognize me from my Instagram, Laxtractive, and today I am reviewing the Crux 600 Complete Stick by STX. Universal Lacrosse was kind enough to send this over, as well as some handles for me to compare, and I'm really excited to show you guys what I think about STX's most popular head and its new development. So I've done everything like string it, I've shot with it, I have of course just thrown it with it against the wall with the partner, and I have a lot to say actually. That's a different head than the 500, it really is. There's some distinct differences and also some performance differences, as well as just simple things like aesthetic too. First off, I'd like to compare it to the Crux 500. Now you can see that the scoop is different already. The 600 scoop is a speed scoop, meaning that it glides on the ground a little bit quicker, but most notably, it protects that top string right there, which is awesome. I've been waiting for STX to do this forever because working in a lacrosse shop, that was the number one thing that girls came in with was top string breaks. So it's awesome to see that they invested in getting some technology that can actually protect that top string. And the second most noticeable difference is the drop rail. Now, this is a little bit harder to tell the difference with, but both side by side there, you can see that this little curving out here, that is the drop rail. What that does is it brings the strings at a different angle so that you can actually get a higher, deeper pocket. This is not bogus. This is an actual technology that I actually felt when I was testing it, so this isn't just a buzzword. It's cool to see that they found out a way to get the pocket a little bit deeper without messing with the sidewall too much. I thought that was really cool that they added that. However, it does come with a different feel, and I'll get into that a little later. Face tape is about the same too. As you can tell, there's really not much of a difference at all in face tape. So the color options that this comes with is just the classic white, as you see here, but it's also a black on black, the complete murdered out look, a black on Carolina with some Carolina accents, black with lizard accents. That's STX's fun way of saying neon green is lizard. And then there's also a graphite, full graphite plastic with white accents. So you have some good color options there as well. As for handle options, they have black with gold, black with lizard, which is green, black with red, black with white, and also white handle with black. And as just a head, the Crux 600 is $199. As a complete stick, it is $219. For a $20 difference, I would definitely just go with the complete stick because it comes with a 10-degree handle. Not everybody has one of those, and it is a 10-degree head. This has always been advertised as an offense-specific stick. I think you could totally get away with it on defense and on midfield. I actually just strung up 40 of these, and all 40 are being used by every position on the field except for goalie. So you can definitely get away with using this in any position. Don't feel like it has to be just for attack. Now on to the actual review portion of the stick. I had an actual adjustment period using this for the first time in a long time, especially with STX sticks. I think they all perform pretty similarly. However, this is the first Crux and Crux head that has really performed differently than its predecessor. This kind of design, especially with the drop rail that I was talking about, gives you more hold, which is awesome. It allows a lot more depth, especially in a higher pocket placement. However, you are going to have to adjust how you pass and throw. I really did have to get my hands off of my body and follow through. And the ball, honestly, it was whipping downwards a lot on my first passes. I had to kind of adjust a bit, and that took a little getting used to. That surprised me because I've never had to do that before with an STX stick, really. I think if you hit the gym, you're gonna have a lot of fun ripping shots with this. I was able to get the ball to go through the fence a couple times when I was shooting with it, and I'm a twig. So I'm sure if you actually work out, you'd be able to really rip on shots with this. Something else I really liked about the head design was the speed scoop. The previous head was a little bit pointier at the top, and it could kind of create some resistance when you're going for a ground ball. This one was super easy to get ground balls with, very fluid, very smooth motion. I'm really glad they added that on, both for the top string and for making the ground balls a little bit easier, especially when you're on attack. Moving on to the Launch 2 pocket. I am so glad they changed the design of this pocket. This is exactly what the Launch should have been in the first place. I'm very excited that they changed it up. The thing that I like most is these bottom tie-off strings, and I'll get to that because I also strung the stick, and I'll get to that in the stringing section, but it's so much easier to adjust with this design right here. Also, they added some, I'm not sure if you can see, but there's some lines that kind of break up the launch piece, allowing the ball to kind of get flexed around a little bit more. It doesn't flex around the ball as much as the Runway does, but it definitely flexes better than the first Launch pocket, and that was really nice to see them putting the effort into redesigning this a bit because it was not my favorite pocket to use. So kudos to them on that. One of the only complaints I have with the pocket is that I really wish they would move to leathers. These nylons are all right, but they don't really grip the ball, and leathers just hold onto it so nicely and give you just a ridiculous amount of hold. That would really bring this to the next level if you're looking for as much hold as possible in a stick. I really think that leathers would improve that. I wish they'd move away from these nylons, but the nylons don't really they definitely don't ruin the pocket. It's just I would like leathers more. And then one of the coolest things I discovered was that it is really easy to get direct, at least for me, very accurate and direct sidearm shots, which was so weird because I'm not used to that for sidearm. I do practice it a lot, but you could extend so far backwards with this. It was great to actually have that hold, and it was releasing very smoothly. I actually, for the first time ever, had more issue on my overhand shots than on my sidearm shots for accuracy. So I don't know what that is. I guess I am more accustomed to whip on sidearm than I am with overhand. But that was just something cool I noticed, was my sidearms are a lot more accurate. Moving on to handles, I got to check out the 500 and the 600. The 600 is a bit lighter at 5.44 ounces. Another notable feature is the 600 has a molded butt end. So at first glance, this looks like it's actually a different part, but the butt is actually completely molded and attached to the stick and has some nice grooves on it, so you can really pull down on shots. Also, up top here, this one, they finally molded the shaft so that it is a 1-inch diameter at the top. So as you can see with the 500, this is a 7/8 diameter shaft. It needs an extra 1/8 of a diameter applicator to be able for a head to fit onto it. That is not the case with the 600. You don't have this loose piece that often gets lost. I really like that they're finally moving to this. I'm excited about that. This entire handle is all one piece. The butt and the shaft and the top part are all one part, and they are both 10 degrees as well. The Complete Sticks comes with a Comp 10 shaft. It is a full inch teardrop shape. The butt end is not molded, as you can probably see. It is just a loose butt that can fall off. And because it's a 1-inch, it doesn't need an applicator up here. So I also went ahead and strung my own pocket. I've also strung my own Launch pocket into this, the Launch 2 pocket in as well. But just to start with the head stringability, it strings great. It strings very similarly to the Crux 500. It's very easy to get a deep, high pocket, as you can see there. I would say the only thing that I don't like is, for some reason, they decided to change this bottom-most stringing hole to be very large. It is not that big on the Crux 500. For some reason, you can fit probably 4 or 5 strings through this bottom-most hole, which is usually the tie-off hole, so I don't know why that's so big. Maybe that's why, because they want you to fit so many strings through, but I didn't end up doing that in this case, so I don't know why that's really there. And so big. I wish they would just make that smaller. Otherwise, all the string holes are very easy to use. I also noticed they're a little bit bigger, I think. Maybe I'm just making it up in my head, but I swear it was easier to get these shooters through this sidewall hole in particular, which was really nice because it took me a little less time to really stick those shooters through, because there's 2 strings that need to go through that hole, not just one. And same goes with this top shooting hole. But it strings up very easily. I love the pocket I can get. Like I said, you can get a super deep, high pocket. That's legal right there, with like pretty good hold there. And as for the stringability of the Launch 2 pocket, I loved that these tie-offs were not just with plastic strips that wear down and they break easily. They finally made it so that there's a nylon string that attaches there. I like that because it's so much easier for girls to adjust this. All right, to wrap things up, I do like this offering from STX. It is different than the Crux 500. It definitely is. The drop rail makes a big difference in how the stick performs, how it holds, how you shoot. So you have to keep that into consideration. I would really encourage girls to try passing with it before they just buy it. I would also mention that when I was using it, about 20 shots in, had to readjust. It had become illegal. I wasn't sure. I think it was because this knot from the factory stringing wasn't tied very tight. It became to be almost like a guy's depth very quickly. So I had to adjust that very quick. Only 20 passes in. That was kind of annoying. I wish they would make sure that it's ready to play right off the shelf, because girls don't generally check the stick and the sixth string before they play with it. They just go and play with it. So aside from that though, I do like the improvements for ground balls. You don't pitchfork yourself as much when you're going for a ground ball. I like the improvement on the launch pocket. It's so much easier to string. It's a better performance pocket overall. It seems more durable. I haven't heard any issues yet of these breaking, although not much time has passed, to be honest. And I think that it's definitely a stick worth trying out. Thanks so much for sitting down and watching this review of the Crux 600 by STX, as well as the newest Crux 600 handle. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate Universal for sending one over, and I appreciate all of you. Please subscribe, like, tell me what you think, and thank you so much for watching.